All right, hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I've done like an actual video sitting in my apartment. I am turned around because it stays light here until like midnight, so kind of working with the natural lighting and what I have here. Today I got Wingstop because I was watching Kathleen Lights do like a mukbang type thing, and she had Wingstop. And I also, Susan, do you have to eat right now? And I also have this pineapple truly because it's really cold and it sounded good with wings, so. All right, I'm pretty sure these are the Cajun wings. I got Cajun Classic, I got Garlic Parm Classic, and I think it's like Korean barbecue. Those are boneless. And then I just got like regular seasoned fries. They're kind of soggy. They're a little bit sweet too. And I only got one ranch for all these wings. I'm gonna have to pull out the reserve bottle. I really like the pineapple one. Try the Cajun first because I have not had this one. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite flavors that they have. I'm not like a huge lover of Wingstop just because I think that Buffalo Wild Wings has a lot better flavors. I said what I said. But pork. This Cajun one is good. Pork, come here. Come here. Here's someone you guys have not met yet. So before we start the video, let me just introduce you. This is Pork. She's wet because she was trying to eat her sister's food. So I sprayed her with the spray bottle. Okay, yep. Thank you for that. Now I'm wet. Guess that's my fault. But when I got her, they had told me she was a Himalayan, but I'm pretty sure she's a ragdoll. So she's gonna be a lot bigger than I thought she would be. But she eats everything. She loves feet, and she's a menace to society. So yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I debated even talking about this because it's still just, I'm fuming. But I think I'll tell this story and then I'll tell another one to cool down a little bit. Both of them have to do with like this wave of bad luck that I've been having. So, yeah. These are the garlic parm wings. That's the litter robot. I unplugged it because they're going to keep making noise. They just like to watch it run. They don't even use it. Okay. So, this story takes place when I was driving out across the state to pick up pork. So this was back at the beginning of June. Yeah, beginning of June. She's a Pisces, in case you were wondering. So, if you know me, I am afraid of getting in trouble. So, I never do anything wrong. That includes speeding. I do not speed. The maximum amount that I ever go over the speed limit is like at an absolute max 5 over the speed limit, which for most people is going really slow. I usually get passed on the highway. So there is never a time when I am not driving with cruise control set. And that's because it's more relaxing to me. I can pay more attention to the things around me. So I drive with cruise control all the time. Even if I'm in like a 25 mile per hour zone, I'm gonna set the cruise to like 28. So I'm usually driving between 3 and 4 miles per hour over the speed limit with my cruise control set. I believe legally you can be pulled over going 4 over the speed limit. It might be 5, I'm not sure. This smells good. So, I'm on the highway, right? I'm about, I don't know, halfway to where I'm supposed to pick pork up, because it was like, I think it was like a 4-hour drive one way. So I'm like 2 hours in. I'm in a 70-mile speed zone. My cruise control is set at 74. Coming up behind a semi. Truck speed limit is like 60, so he's probably doing 65. Again, my cruise control is set at 74. I get over to pass the semi. This car's coming up behind me, so I'm like, okay, well, he's kind of riding my ass, so I'm gonna go up past the semi, get over to the right, let him pass me, right? As I was like at the nose of the semi passing, just about to get over, there were 2 state troopers sitting on my left. And so, again, cruise control still set at 74. I get over, this guy who was coming up and like riding my ass this whole way passes me. I see the cop pull out. The guy on my left is still going faster than me. I would guess probably like 78, because again, he had to slow down to like my speed, which was 74, and then speed back up to his like original speed and pass me. It looked like he was going about, like, I'm just gauging by like how fast he passed me. I think he was going about 78. Still accelerating. So I see the cop pull out and I'm like, ooh, this guy's gonna get pulled over, right? See the lights, I'm over in the right-hand lane, and then the guy just keeps driving, and then the cop gets over in the right-hand lane. I'm like, what? And guess what? I get pulled over. At the time, I had just changed the music on my phone, and I'm like, he's pulling me over for like changing my phone. And I was like, but I didn't think that, like, I literally had like looked down, hit the next button, and then like looked back up at the road. And so I was like, okay, well, that has to be why, because I definitely wasn't speeding. Like, the guy next to me was definitely going faster, so he would have pulled him over, right? So cop pulls me over, and he's like, do you know how fast you're going? And I was like, yeah, I was going 74. And he's like, well, yeah, you were going 74 when I pulled you over, but before I pulled you over, you were going 81. I was like, no, I wasn't. I've had my cruise control set at 74 this whole time, like literally since I started driving. He's like, well, you slowed down when you saw me. And I'm like, you're saying that I slowed down to 74, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so how did I know that I was going 74 miles per hour when you pulled me over? He's like, well, because you looked down at your gauge when I pulled you over to see how fast you were going. And I was like, did you not see the guy who passed me when you pulled me over? He was definitely going more than 74. And he's like, yeah, but he wasn't going 81 like you were back there. And I was like, that guy behind me drove up really fast. I was in the left lane, the semi was in the right. He had to slow down to, you guessed it, 74 miles per hour. And I didn't explain this with sass. I was like, you know, I'm just a little upset about it because like I explained this very calmly to him. Whether you believe me or not, that's not the point. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, this guy had to slow down behind me because I was going 74 when we passed you because my cruise control was set at 74. So you saw him slow from 81 down to 74, not me. And he's like, no, you slowed down. I was like, okay, but you saw the guy behind me who was really close to me. And then I got over in the right-hand lane. I was going 74. I knew that I was going 74 when you pulled me over. That's how I knew exactly the speed that you pulled me over at because my cruise control has been set for the last 50 miles at 74 miles per hour. And then this guy continues to pass me even when you pull me over and I was still going 74. So you don't think that this guy was the one who was speeding? He's like, well, he might have been speeding, but so were you because you slowed down. And I was like, bro, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, there could not be any, like, I could not have any more proof for you as to why you are so wrong. I was like, did you see the guy pass me and go faster than me when you pulled me over? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, so why does it not make sense to you that he was the one who was speeding in the first place if I was the one who got over to let him pass when he was riding my ass as we were passing you? And then he just like sits there really quietly for a second. He just thinks, he's like, can I just see your license and registration? I'm like, cool. He like understands. And like I explained it to him. He gets it. He comes back and he's like, I only ticketed you for going 5 over instead of the, 11 that you were going. And I was like, I wasn't even going 5 over. You pulled me over going 74. And he was like, no, you were going 81. And I was like, dude, whatever. Like, I cannot argue with you. You obviously did not have good training. You don't know how to read a radar. So anyway, I was just like, whatever. I was like super mad and I took my ticket and then like I left it. That was like the end of, it gets me so mad, like to think about it. That whole story gets me mad. But like, that's not the end of it. So I don't know how much it costs in other states, like how much a ticket costs, because Washington is the only place I've ever been pulled over, both times that it was not my fault. I've been pulled over twice in my life. Once was this one that I'm talking about, and the other one I also got ticketed. Like, I don't know who these people are who are getting off with warnings after they've sped or done something actually bad, but like, I get blamed for everybody else's mistakes is what's been happening. So the Washington State Patrol is absolutely the worst that I've ever dealt with. They don't know what they're doing and they need better training, and I'm going to say it. If you're a Washington State Patrol officer, you can message me and I'll have words with you, okay? Anyway, the ticket was $120. It might have been like 110 or 115 or something, but like after taxes, because I paid it online, $120. I paid because somebody else was speeding. It wasn't me. And I was like, this guy couldn't even let me off with a warning. Like, he could have even just still believed that he was right, gave me the benefit of the doubt and said, well, you were going this fast and I don't want to see it again. And I was just like, I wasn't going that fast, but okay. And then he could have given me a warning. But no. I don't remember this guy's name. It's something stupid. Officer Stupid. I don't know. But like, $120 I paid because somebody else was speeding. It was a dark blue Toyota RAV4. So, if you're out there, I know it was you, and you owe me $120. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway. I think he told me I had like 15 days to pay the ticket or whatever. So, I was still like defuming for a couple of days. I think I paid it at like day 10 or something. And I looked at the ticket. Do you want to know how fast he wrote down that I was actually going? Like, that he pulled me over for? 89 miles per hour. So not only can this guy not read a radar, he doesn't know his numbers. Because he told me he pulled me over going 81, which it wasn't me, it was the guy behind me, and yet he ticketed me for 89. And then I looked at it and he's like, but the ticket's only for 5 over, which, I mean, he still did that, but like, dude, come on. You're just incriminating yourself. You're showing me that you don't know what you're doing twice over. And yes, I know that I could have written the judge and asked for like a pardon or whatever you asked the judge for. But for one, I would have had to mail that in. I couldn't just walk to the courthouse because, again, I was 2 hours away. And I shouldn't have to because it wasn't my ticket. And I'm pretty sure this cop knew that I was right because once I explained exactly what happened, it like, light bulb flashed on in his head. But because he couldn't stand to be wrong, I had to pay $120 so that a man could be right. Even though he still wasn't right. Oh, and at that time I was like, well, maybe my cruise control's off because like I had my cruise control set. So I was even trying to give him the benefit of a doubt. I had my cruise control set at 74. Maybe like, I think it was 3 exits up the road. There were 2 more cops sitting there. Guess who didn't get pulled over? You wanna know why? Because there was nobody behind me speeding for me to take the ticket of. I'm still really mad about it. And I know I should just let it go. Because I already paid the ticket and it's whatever. But like, come on, dude. Be better. It has been really hot here. I mean, you guys have probably all heard about like the Washington heatwave, but it's hot. It's rough not having AC. I felt bad for Pork, honestly. I made a TikTok of her. She was laying on the tile. She had like all of her paws spread out. It was so funny. She was so high. I felt so bad. She was panting. Marsha was too. But anything I tried to do to cool her off, she hated. The only thing I could finally get her to do was I put a just like a hand towel and some cold water, and I wrung it out like as best as I could so that it was still cold. And then I wrapped it around her and held her for a little bit, and she was okay with that, but she just, and then like I was trying to put her in front of the fan, and she hated it. You know, this is better than when I had it the first time. But they had like, it was probably their third day of being open. They've only been open for a couple months here. But this is better. So the other story has to do with purchasing a car. So I do not like handling, I don't like dealing with salesmen. I know it's something I just need to get over, but I don't like doing it. So I was like, hey, a couple of my friends have bought from this online car company. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but if you guys have seen any commercials ever, you probably know which one I'm talking about. So this company is completely online. Their customer service is like a texting number, so you can like text them if you don't want to wait on the phone, and they'll respond within like 15 minutes with like a real person. And the advocates are there 24/7. So even if their main business isn't open, like with their financing department and everything, there's always somebody there to answer your text, because, you know, people are in different time zones and whatnot. So it's really cool the way that they do it. And honestly, it's ideal for introverted millennials or Gen Z. Which I wouldn't say I'm introvert, I'm an omnivert. Whatever. But still, I don't like dealing with people. My experience was actually really good, except for like this one aspect of it, and I feel like it was the most important aspect. I did a couple days of searching. I ended up getting a car that I thought was going to be out of my price range, and I got this car for a steal. Like, considering it was relatively new. It's a 2018, and it only had like 26,000 miles on it, and it's a Subaru. So Subarus, like within the first day of buying them, pretty much have 26,000, or not the first day. Okay, come on. Within the first year of buying them, pretty much have like 28,000 miles on them already. So the fact that this was 3 years old, and yeah, 3 years old, only 26,000 miles. It was like under 20,000. I was like, this is a really good deal. It didn't have like a whole lot of scratches. There's a couple like dents in the paint, but other than that, like the interior is really nice. The car looks pretty new. I will never find a deal like this ever again in my life. I'm 100% sure of it. So that whole process was like pretty easy. I had to do like a lot of paperwork or whatever. But you would do the same thing at a dealership. Just you have somebody explaining it to you. So I was able to talk to a rep from this company anytime that I wanted, anytime that I needed. And they were ready to answer like any questions that I had. So it was cool in that aspect. I got all the paperwork signed. I got the loan that I needed. They like confirmed all of my ID, like everything that they needed to do. And they were like, cool. Give us like 3 days to send this up to the company, put your package together. And then somebody's gonna call you and set up your delivery. I was like, cool. I was about to go on a work trip for like, it was like, I think 2 weeks from then, and it said like your delivery was within like 9 to 14 days of you purchasing the car. So I was like, shoot, I'm gonna be gone. My car's gonna get delivered, and you have to be here with your ID and with like your proof of insurance in order to receive the car. So I was really worried about that. I called the company rep and they were like, oh, well, let's just see what the earliest available delivery is. The earliest available delivery was June 4th. And I got back from my trip on like May 30th, May 31st. So I was like, cool, that's gonna work for me. Why don't we do that? Cool. So June 3rd rolls around. I get a text message from the company saying, your car's gonna be delivered in 24 hours because I had an 11 a.m. scheduled appointment. And they said, so be ready for it. Here's what you need to do. I had to notarize some documents, which they also have an online notarizing company. Anyway, you can do it online. You FaceTime a person. They confirm who you are. They sign your stuff for you. It's like super, so easy. So easy. Next day comes. Like 8 or 9 a.m. I get a text message saying your delivery's been delayed. And I was like, okay, bummer. They're probably gonna deliver it later today. And I was like, the car, like the delivery truck probably broke down somewhere south of here. And it's gonna be like a little bit longer. It might be till tomorrow, whatever. You guys, it was delayed until July 11th. And I was like, I just got a text 24 hours ago that my car was on its way and I need to be ready. And now you're sending me a text not even 21 hours after that, 3 hours prior to my delivery, that it's been delayed over a month. Like, that to me is telling me that you didn't even schedule it. And to send a confirmation, a 24-hour notice confirmation for me to notarize the documents. Like, you knew that my car wasn't gonna be here in 24 hours. It hadn't even left its original point. It was coming all the way from Tennessee. It was still in Tennessee, and they sent me that 24 hours prior saying, be ready for your car. Really? Anyway, so I was like pretty mad because I was like, July 11th doesn't really work for me. And I don't know, I was taking a few days to like chill out and like fume down before I messaged anyone, because I was like, okay, basically is what I said. And then I was like, well, crap. So I go online to check that everything's still in order. I was actually, I don't remember what I was checking on my my login for that company, but I saw that they were like, oh, we're so sorry, your delivery has been rescheduled for July 5th. And I was like, I got a text saying July 11th. And like, I scrolled back, I was like, maybe I misread it. So I looked and I was like, no, it definitely says July 11th. So I texted them and I was like, hey, my delivery got delayed and now it's telling me, the text said July 11th and online is telling me July 5th. So I'm just wondering what my delivery date is, because I kind of want to be here when it happens and I don't want to miss my car now that I have to wait another month to get a new car. And that was another thing. Like, what if I was somebody who I was like renting a car because like my car got stolen, which actually happened to my friend, and hers got delayed, which sucks for her. But like, what am I supposed to do if I don't have a car for that time? You know, like, if my insurance doesn't cover it, it doesn't cover it. Anyway, luckily I had a car. And it was like, the person was, it was good customer service. They kept apologizing, and they're like, it's a third party delivery system. Like, we don't personally deliver all the cars because, you know, they're going all over the country, and they're still a relatively new company. So I get that. But like, why was there so many mix-ups on my car? And why did it take them that long to inform me that my car had been delayed? And why didn't they tell me earlier than 3 hours before? Like, I understand a mistake in the 24 hours prior text being sent, like maybe it was just an auto send, but like, why did you choose to tell me 3 hours prior to when I was supposed to get my car delivered? Like, I already had a thing in place for my other car. I was getting rid of it. I was giving it to a friend who really needed it. So they got screwed out of a car for an extra month. Luckily, I still had it. Like, I had taken time off of work. It was just like, seriously? Anyway, so I messaged them because I was planning on visiting my sister for her birthday over that weekend, so the 2nd through the 4th, and well, actually it was through the 5th, 3rd through the 5th, 2nd through the, I don't know, till the 5th, and my delivery was now on the 5th. So I called them and I'm like, hey, this 11 a.m. delivery doesn't work for me because I already have plans, and like, it's not in the cards for me to do that. And they were like, well, we can't reschedule your delivery. The next delivery will be July 27th. And I was like, okay, well, I'm leaving the state by then, and I kind of need a car to like leave the state because I'm moving. And they were like, oh, well, sorry, it's like a third party thing. There's nothing we can do. And again, I understand that the advocate cannot do anything for me if it's a third party thing, but like, deliveries are always late as it is. You know, if you're like waiting around for like a delivery person, it's always like at least 5 hours past the delivery time. And they were like, well, we can put something in the notes that says that you won't be there until this time that day, but there's no guaranteed delivery. If you're not there, we're gonna have to reschedule you for the 27th. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I had to change my plans because they messed up 2 times. And you wanna know what time the car showed up? My appointment was 4:11. The car didn't get here until after 3:30 in the afternoon. So I didn't have to cancel my plans. Turns out, because I was right about the delivery being late anyway. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's how my life is going. Everything's been like that lately. Nothing's been working out. So living it up. Well, I was actually very surprised with Wingstop. It impressed me more than I thought it would, and I'm very satisfied with it. So if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Check out my other videos if you like mukbangs. I did a couple other like little random types of videos in there too. So give those a watch, and I'll see you guys next time.